Hello, everyone, and good afternoon from Canada here. Greetings to you all. And today is such an amazing day because I have somebody that's very wonderful here today. We're going to be walking through his journey in the online business. So I just like to say hello to everyone. My name is Femi. I'm from Ontario, Canada, and I used to work in the oil and gas industry as a directional driller, but no more. So I run my online business 100% now. So before we set the ball rolling, I just want to invite Henry here to tell us a little bit about himself so I will get to know him and then we'll start the show. Henry, you can take it out.
Okay. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever your location might be. My name is Henry. As Femi has just said, I'm a Christian, a Nigerian, a husband, a father of three beautiful children, and we live in the UK. I'm a corporate worker, I'm still working, and a digital business owner. And as Femi said, that is one thing with this business. Femi is in Canada, I am in the UK. So there's no distance. It's like we are together in the same place. That's for me.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's so interesting how small the world has become now, with the help of the internet. Like somebody said that it's such a global village now. You get to meet people that you have never met before. You get to work with people that you have never known before. And then just beyond running your business and making money from the business, you form acquaintances, friendship ensues from there and all that. So, well, Henry, the first question I'd like to ask you, is what led you to starting an online business, knowing that you already have, I mean, like you have a job, you work corporate right now, and I'm sure that you're doing very well there, but then you started this online business anyway. So what led you to this online business?
Where to start with? Before, I did some online business because I really
Hmm.
like to work remotely, but the business didn't work out. So I decided to settle for work. Then I was doing 2 to 3 jobs at the same time. I leave home very early, come back very late. It was a routine, and I felt that was the best way to live. The time I was supposed to spend with my family, I was always out of home. One day, my daughter asked me, Dad, when will you take me to school?
Wow.
My God. With that question, I realized that I needed to spend quality time with my family. That it's not about doing 2, 3 jobs at the same time. I decided to look for other options. One day I was on the internet, an advert popped up, and whose picture I saw on the advert? It was the face of one of our church members. I watched the video. I told my wife, "This look at what I saw." So before we go to the church, I called the lady. I said, "I saw such a video. Are you the one in that?" He said, "Yes, she's the one." I said, "Wow." I said, "But why did you tell me before this time that there's such opportunity?" She
Hmm.
said, let me quote her. She said, "We don't bug people with our business. That is the good part of this business. That is the advantage, one of the advantages of this business. You don't bother your family member. You don't bug your friends. Come and buy this, come and buy that." So she explained to me, and here I am today. I did my diligence, and here I am today, talking about the same business. So it has been
Awesome.
like, yeah.
I mean, awesome. I'm sorry. I mean, if you still have something to say, go ahead so I don't cut you off.
No, that what I was. I wanted to say that that's enough for me. I wanted to hand over to you.
Man, that's so awesome, right? Because I'm like, I'm only the person when wear shoe, no wear shoe.
The pay now,
I mean,
yeah. When they let the
yeah,
pay now.
according to you, because I mean, like, you know what they say? They say all lizard that they crawl for ground. You don't know the one where let the pain.
No,
You
no.
know, so like I mean, like there are a lot of people that look out. You know, they appear outside like everything is rosy.
Yes.
And when I say everything is rosy, it does not mean that people are suffering or they're not suffering. You know, but like that people are working hard to make ends meet,
Yes. Yes.
and that's what we know best to do as men. Say
Yes.
for Nigeria, we know they carry last. I mean,
No,
like
no, no.
we work hard,
Yes.
and there's this thing that we grew up, learning from our parents, that people don't get to it. Those when they do well, they don't get to it. So we have to do well as well. And
Yes.
we don't like, yes, and so we also like to give the best to our
Yes.
family members. And that's one of the reasons why we don't stop. We stop at I mean, like we don't stop at any length. We just want to make sure that we go all out to do whatever it is that costs us to do. But unfortunately, in the course of doing that, there are a lot of things that suffer. You were
Yes.
just talking now about, you were doing 2, 3 jobs, and of course, with that, you were comfortable, making things happen for your family.
Yeah.
But it was at a cost. At a
For some
cost
people.
that most of us, with very understanding women, understanding wives,
Yes. Yes.
they
Yes.
they just say, okay, he's doing what he has to do, and then they'll just want to support the best way they can.
Yeah.
They don't want to ever make you feel that something is lacking so that you don't feel discouraged. So they want to support us. But thank God for your child, for your daughter,
Hmm.
for being able to express herself.
Yes.
Imagine if she didn't express herself and you went on like that. You may never have had an opportunity to
No.
walk out to school.
No. No.
You see, like for those of you that know my story, and for those that don't know, my case was similar. My case was that I used to walk away from home because I was working in the oil rigs. And working in the oil rig was pay as you go. You got paid on the number of days you were on the rig, a certain amount of money. Of course, there's some basic salary that is there for the days you're not on the rig, but we don't really consider that because that's a minute ratio of our
Yeah.
income. The major part of our income is what we make from the rig. So when we get to the rig, you see some people, we turn into jokes. Some people once they get to the rig, they open their calendar and start marking on the calendar. They start crossing it. We say we're marking X because the number of days that you work on the rig, you multiply that by the certain amount of money that you
Yeah.
earn per day. It will determine what you're making. And with that, I mean, I was able to put my kids through private school. I was able to take them to international school and all that. They were able to go on vacation, but most of the time they went on vacation without me. And most times when that had to happen, they were not happy because it's not the same when the family
When
is
you are
not.
there. Yes.
I was talking to you behind the scene.
Hmm.
Um, I was married for about 27 years as at the time I saw this job, sorry, this business. And as at that point in time, there was never a time in my career life that I'd stay 2 months at home on a
Hmm.
stretch with my family. So my wife became the doctor for when the kids were sick. She became the mechanic for when the car had a problem. She became everything,
My God.
you know. And like what you said, there was one day my son, when he was in grade I think it was grade 10 or grade 11 here in Canada then, and then he had to write an essay in English. And then the mom showed me when I came back from work. And in the essay, he made mention that my father is never around.
Oh my God.
You know, and it didn't mean it. I mean, he didn't mean it in a bad way. Not that he didn't
No.
appreciate what I was doing, but really, I wasn't around.
Hmm.
You know, so and thank God, thank God that thank God that we saw something. We saw something, and then we found out that I mean, like there's an option, there's something else that we can do that could make life easy for everybody.
Yes.
So, may I just ask you to share with us what your journey has been so far within the business? You said earlier on, you are still working. So with your work, you're still able to keep this business. So how are you able to, play work and business? How are you able to balance
Yes.
it?
Yes. I was able to balance the work and business to start with because of our system that works 24/7. Because of our system, the system we have in the business that work 24/7, that we don't need to be there 24 hours. Our business is not like the brick and mortar business, whereby you have to open the shop, you have to close the shop. We have to be present, yes, but it's online. I don't need to spend 6, 7, 8 hours or 9 hours in the business. All I need daily is 2 hours. That is how I'm able to balance the job. Even during my break time, at times I do my business because my break time I can do anything I want to do during my break time.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really have, like, with that I was able to balance my work and the business. Like today, for example, I went to work. I'm here now doing the business. We are talking about the business as well.
Yeah.
So that is the advantage, that even anytime you come back to the business is working for you behind the scene. Even when you are not there presently, the business is working for you. When you are sleeping, the business is working for you. And another thing is that it's a business you can do from anywhere.
Yeah.
As I said, during my break time, my place of work, I don't need to have a special office. I don't need to have a special skill or a certificate to be able to do it.
You don't even have to be seated.
No. All I just need is internet connection and a smartphone. That's it. That helped me to be able to balance the work and the business.
So, I mean, like, that would be one of the benefits of the business. And of course, there was one benefit you mentioned, in a subtle way, when you were talking about how you came across the business. You said you saw, I mean, like you were looking for something else to do to be able to have more time for yourself and your family. And then you saw an advert, and it happened to be somebody in your church, somebody that you know, but sometimes it may be somebody that you don't know, but somebody that you know. The person is in your church. You probably see the person every Sunday, without knowing the person was doing the job, because I mean, there's no need for cold calling, right? Because with the internet, you can actually reach the entire world. Like you said earlier on as well. I mean, there you are in the UK, I'm here in Canada. We're able to talk about this business. So I mean, like that's really it's really a fantastic thing, and I mean, I'm so happy that you're able to pull off. So now that is able to do this business and maybe cut down on hours at work. I mean, like you're able to pay some attention, at home now, and maybe able to take the little girl, to school. And I'm sure she'll be excited.
Yes.
I mean, there's so many things that that we do because there are things that we must do. And the way we do them is the way we know best to do them. I'm not disparaging somebody that's working two jobs or 3 jobs. You have been there. I've not worked 2 jobs before, but I've worked long hours. Because like when I was working on the rig as a supervisor, my shift starts 6 o'clock in the morning and finishes 6 in the evening. But that was not when I start my work. My work actually starts around 5:30 in the morning or even before that, because I'll first go for some leaders meetings. Then I will join some safety meetings as well before I go for my crew change by 6 o'clock. And when I close at 6 o'clock as well in the evening, I will still go for some of those meetings. So more like instead of the 12 hours, I was doing like 14 hours a day. And I was doing that Monday to Sunday. There was no weekend because the activity in the oil rig cannot be stopped, right? And I will do that, the first week. I'll do that second week, third week, fourth week, fifth week. Sometimes I'm there for like 2 months before I go home for like 4 weeks and then come back again.
Oh my God.
So doing this thing, of course, the Kulele was coming in, and we were happy that whenever there was need for funds, we had funds.
Yeah.
But what I've learned is that that may not have been the best way and may not have been the only way. The fact that we know a certain way to do certain things does not necessarily mean that that's the best way for us to
That's the
do.
best way. Yeah.
Because most of the time, what we have ended up doing is trading our time for money. So, and I believe that life is meant to be lived.
Yes.
Uh, Paul said in the Bible, he said that he said, according as his power has given unto us all things that pertain to life and godliness, through the knowledge of him that has called us unto glory and virtue.
Yes.
So we are called unto glory and virtue, right? So it's not just about the money.
No.
Like in my case, my spirituality was challenged because I couldn't really go. So the much I could do was whatever I learned or studied through studying of my Bible, or maybe watching my pastor sometimes on YouTube, which was not even something that was consistent. So, and then again, the health.
Yes.
And one major thing that happened to me some years back was that I think it was in 2016 or 2017. I decided that I wanted to take on additional life insurance because the life insurance that I had previously was the one that the company I was working for gave me. And
Okay.
if for people that understand life insurances, those were basically term insurances, right? So term insurance is just like your car insurance. You
Yes.
pay as you go, and then God forbid, if by the time you finish paying, the day you stop, if something happens to you the next day,
Nobody
you
cares.
lose, and nobody cares.
Yeah.
And of course, as long as you don't pray to have an incident that will require you getting that
Yeah.
life insurance or your family getting that life insurance,
Yeah.
that means that money is just being thrown away. So I was thinking of getting what they call the universal insurance, the one that can make an investment in, that can pay out to me even while I was alive. And my agent went through about 7 underwriters in Canada,
Hmm.
and they refused, to grant me insurance, life insurance. And the reason was because I was working in a risky environment.
Right.
Because I mean, like, these are some of the
Yeah.
things that we can't quantify.
Hmm.
We don't quantify these things because we don't really look at it. We look at the immediate stuff, the money that is
Yes.
coming in. But God forbid something happens. So those are the benefits that you are even willing to pay for, but you are denied of it because of
Yes.
the nature of the job. So I say that to say sometimes, right? I mean, our physical body suffers, because of this jumping up and down. Our emotions also suffers.
Yes.
And you just gave an example of what your daughter said, and I just gave an example of what my son wrote, in his book. So these are the things that we don't consider. But if you
Yeah.
are watching us today, or maybe you're not even watching, maybe you're going to be watching this afterwards, right? You may want to understand also that having an online business does not only give you an opportunity to reduce the number of hours you work, but it also gives you a second stream of income.
Hmm.
It gives you that confidence that should that kind of problem that happened all around the world in 2020, 2023 happen again, at least your mind goes strong by say, okay, something is there for ground.
Yes.
you know I mean, can you express some more on that? How that having this business, how it can be a backup for you.
Yes. Anyone that is doubting the business, oh, is it real? Can this business be possible?
Mm.
I'm not tech savvy. Trying to at times we put bridges, we put walls on our way by ourselves. Why? Because of complaining. Before I started this business, I had my Facebook account, for example, for many years. I don't post anything on my Facebook account. I just go there, flip over it, then leave it. But because the community, there are people, we have coaches, we have mentors who will take you by the hand and walk you through. When I came here, I thought I wouldn't be able to do anything. I can't do it. So if anyone that is on the fence thinking, this is not for me, I can't do this, I can't come out publicly. But I have to assure you, it's a thing, the experience you have built doing your corporate job is enough for you to be able to do it. If we can't do it, you can do it. We don't have two heads, we have one head like you. We have two hands like you.
Yeah.
So what stops you from doing it? Even to add to what we said before, now I can do school run with my daughter, take her to school, take her back in the evening. Why? Because I'm no longer doing the 2 to 3 jobs I was doing before that was taking my time, which is a great advantage. And as you said about thinking, like my job, for example, is not it's not a job that you have to spend a lot, you use a lot of strength to do. But mentally, we talk to people, we attend to people, we attend to the public. You talk to people and you see the different types of people. But doing this business on the side, give me that edge. I say, oh, I'm just here for maybe for 8 hours. When I get to my house, that thing that is assisting, which is very beneficial. So it's very good to have another stream of income. Apart from it's not only the money, even there are some things I learned from this community that I'm applying in my daily job. There are some things I did when I did my course last 2 years to last year. There were some things I learned from this business. I took it to my studies. So all way around is beneficial. Meeting people, professionals, which you might not be able to have the possibility of meeting outside. You meet them in this community. And they talk to you as if you are the same level with them. Nobody underrates you. No, everybody, and they giving back to the community. That's one thing I really like about this community as well. People give back to the community without expecting anything in return. But in the corporate world, outside, before someone can say, okay, I give you this, they will ask you, what are you going to pay me for? What will be my return? But in this community, you see people spending hours, spending time to explain things to business or to other business partners without expecting anything.
Yeah.
You have to be a community one want to belong to. Like the other time I was chatting with someone, I said, because myself, my wife, my son, my first one were voluntary to Red Cross. Some of our people, they say, Henry, how much is Red Cross paying you guys that you people are doing this? I said, do I have to receive something before I do something for people? I don't blame them. That is the world we are living.
Yeah.
Before you give something, you ask, how much am I going to get back? But these are people, real people doing the business. These are not maybe they are just doing it. No, not to please people. No. They are giving back to the community to help those that are in need.
Yeah.
That's a community one want to belong to. A community of more than 200,000 members. And we are the advantage of this business, we are coming live every day. If it is not real, nobody will bring out his face to come out and start talking.
Absolutely. I mean, presently I'm advertising on Facebook. On Facebook, people have access to comment.
Yes.
So there was a guy, I won't mention his name. So there was a guy that's just said, this one a Nigerian man. If you send me somebody else, I feel believe what they do, but because you be Nigerian, and I told him, I said, well, I'm Nigerian and I'm proud.
Yes.
I said, well, I can't help you with what you believe and with your trust issue. So if you want to trust, it's good for you. If you don't want, it doesn't matter. The thing is that I'm not asking you to come and give me money. I'm inviting you to an opportunity that I've seen that has changed my life. So in a way, I'm giving you a hand to want to help you. If you feel that you need the help, but if you don't need the help, if you are
No problem.
self-sufficient,
Yeah.
no problem. We will go ahead, do what we know best to do. And like you said something about you having Facebook account and not even doing anything on it.
Yeah.
The truth was that I didn't even have one
Okay.
until I joined. And it's just so interesting. Most of the people that I've spoken to within the community were people that ordinarily wouldn't put their faces out like
Yes.
this. You know, I don't want to use the word that people are shy, because being shy could be negative sometimes, right? But people are not just so comfortable to putting their face out there. I was such a very private person, and I'm still private, but I'm running the business, so I have to put my face out there in the business. But doing this, it has helped to booster your confidence. It has helped you in your personal development, because now you run the business is a different thing from when you are putting effort to your work and you expect that by the end of the month you get paid.
Yes.
If your business does not pay, you don't get paid. So you just have to work at your business as well. So it just builds you anyway. Well, I guess that's where we're going to stop today. And
Okay.
first of all, before I go ahead, I just want to encourage people that may be watching, or those that will be watch later, that they say that the taste of the pudding is in the eating. If you don't eat it, you can't say, I can't say how it tastes. And it's not always right to just assume, at anything that you see, that maybe something is working or it's not working, or assume that people that come before you to present something for you, they are scammers. If you have not checked, whether or not this thing works. So, like, what I've just said to you is, I will encourage you, if you, for any reason, you want to understand what we do in this business more. Uh, on the screen there, you see right under my finger here, you see my website, and then under under Henry's name, you see his website as well. You can register in either mine or his website, and then you get a link to watch our webinar. And when you watch the webinar, you can make an informed decision, whether or not it makes sense for you to want to do this business or not. And before I stop, I really want to say a big thank you to Henry, because I know you just came back from work, just as you said earlier on, for taking out time to spend time with me here today in this broadcast. And this is the 11th episode of Success is a Journey. And I'd like to say a big thank you to all our viewers and those that will be watching later. Please don't forget to let us know where you may be watching from later. We thank you, and we say bye bye, and God bless you.
Thank you very much for the
Yes.
opportunity as well. Bye, everybody.